Clankers, clankers, clankers. Everywhere I go, I see people talking about clankers. What is a clanker? I asked Google and all it said was that a clanker was a robot. Then my friend asked me to make a game about clankers. What's the point of making a game about robots? Who cares about that? He even started sending me stupid videos about clankers. I'm not gonna make a game about clankers. That's dumb. So I got started right away. My idea is to make a simple game where you just run around and kill clankers. The more kills you have, the better weapons and gear you have access to. First things first, the map. I saw a game called Protect the House from Monsters and wanted to make something similar where the clankers would go up a hill and attack your home. I feel like I'm going to be saying clanker a lot, so let's start a clanker counter. This would be 13. After approximately 27.3 minutes and 6 nanoseconds, this is what I have so far. And as you can see over here, my friend started stealing clankers from the toolbox to begin the revolution. They are probably full of errors and backdoor scripts, but I'll worry about that later. It's not like I have 700,000 Robux in my account to lose anyway. And after all of that, I don't even like it. So I scrapped the entire thing and came up with a new idea for the map. And here it is. Yep, you guessed it. The classic base plate. Just kidding, it's going to be more than that. So here's the plan. I'm going to take and reuse a similar system as what I had made for my last game in my AI game video where the player could get wins and spin them on gears. But instead, you get kills by destroying clankers, of course. And this time you use your kills to get new weapons and gears. It's very similar, but this one is way better because we get to take out the robotic overlords who dare to impede on society as we know it. And because who doesn't like being unreasonably full of hate towards these rust buckets? Pause. YouTube has a new hype feature. I don't know exactly what that means, but if you have access to it down there by the comments, give this video some hype. Let's see how much hype we can generate for clanker hate. And before you ask, yes, I made the skybox look like it's out of SpongeBob. What are you gonna do about it? Anyway, it may actually fit, because the plan is to make the map out of these baseplate textured parts and make different biomes and areas out of them as some kind of simulated reality, where you are fighting back against those pesky clankers. Also, I've just noticed the SpongeBob skybox seems to add a bit of a green tint to the game's lighting. I'll fix it later. Or maybe I won't. Just another small detail that really drives home the immersion of this beautiful game. It's like a nice simulated reality for humans to have their last stand against the Matrix level robotic clankers. Just don't think about the fact that some of them are actually just Roombas with landmines on their heads. Alright, I logged in for a bit and got the basic layout of the map set up as well as the forest and desert areas pretty much complete. They're very open and simple because we all know how dumb those darn metal munchers are and how they would probably get stuck on everything otherwise. However, I myself am also missing a few brain cells and can't code, so it's secretly a workaround so that I don't have to code any sort of pathfinding. Although I still have the snow and water areas to decorate, I'm going to hurt anybody watching with OCD and stop with map building to focus on one of the main features, gears and weapons. And of course I'm going to put the clankers models off for last because it's the hardest thing to do, even though those are also just things I'm going to steal from the toolbox. So after a bit of harassing my friends in ChatGPT, I realized an entire gun system is a little time consuming and complex, so I opted for using the pre-made customizable FE gun kit. With it, I think I will be able to make some funny weapons. Additionally, instead of your typical gun models like a Glock or AK, I'm going to use my own that I paid for with their own stylized aesthetic to it. No, they don't make any sense, but so far nothing in this game does, and at least if I make anything shoot hyper laser death beams, it will be more understandable since the weapons looked like they were made on an alien planet. Also, while testing the basic pistol setup the kit provides you with, I noticed it has a warning every time you join the game and a warning every time you shoot a bullet. I tried fixing this with ChatGPT, but as it turns out, the clankers are in fact as dumb as I thought and incapable of such a task any beginner coder could probably fix in minutes. So I went for the easier option, completely ignoring it forever and pretending it's okay. After that, I started working on filling in some of the obtainable gears with tools to help you have fun or troll other players, to mix up the gameplay rather than simply constantly unlocking new weapons. While doing that, I noticed my friend had finished the snow area. Yes, the same friend who sent me the clanker videos and told me to make this game. I decided to check up on him and see what he had to say so far. Maybe he will have some ideas on how we can improve the game further.
Clankers. I hate these dirty wireback, tin skin, metal munching, steel toe rust bucket bums. You know, they're ruining my life.
Now that we've been provided with such valuable information by my friend, it's time to get some work done with the most important part of this game, the clankers. My goal is to create a few spots around the map for the rust buckets to spawn out of rather than simply appearing out of thin air, just to make it feel a little bit better. I'm making those areas black parts that they can come out of, kind of like fake walls, because it's simple and effective. But now I have to ask Roblox's AI or ChatGPT to make a spawning system for each area so that we can choose how many and which clankers come out of them. And I'm a little terrified that it's either going to work on the first try or take 1,000 attempts. There's really no in between when it comes to asking these metal munchers to complete coding tasks for you. Okay, I lied. It didn't do it first try, but instead in a couple attempts. Point is, the spawning system now works, and if I come over here to this spawn area box, you'll see that for yourself. I also got ChatGPT to fix a script in this clanker specifically so that its body actually despawns after it's killed, which I'll likely have to do with other clanker models in the near future. But with that being said, the game is actually near complete. All that's left to do is add more clankers, weapons, gears, and last but not least, some monetization, so I can feed my service dog named Doge and occasionally buy myself a family-sized pack of Oreos. So, first things first, I went ahead and cleaned up the spawn areas. Even though you literally just watched me make them, I felt they could use a touch-up, so now they sort of blend into the environment a little bit better. Then, the cool and complex fists we had as the starter weapon wasn't giving the players kills for killing clankers. I tried to fix it, but it had very messy code, so after a few hours, I opted to simply change the starter weapon to the classic sword. Another issue I had was with the NPC spawning system. It was all handled in one script and became a little too complicated to fix and adjust, so I tied ChatGPT down in the electric chair and forced it to give me what I wanted. And now I have a separate script in each spawn part that properly spawns the clankers, rust buckets, wire skins, and robots all on its own, and respawns a new group of them after they die, because if we don't get to destroy them endlessly, what's even the point? Now, with the game about 90% complete, it's time to lock in. So I added game passes to make sure I can feed my Doge and get those Oreos I always wanted, which is a great time for you to subscribe, so maybe I don't have to add mega pay to win to all my games. And for those of you that really want to support me, don't skip the ads you get on my videos. Use it as time to go grab a snack. Then I added signs around the map to show players where to get ammo for their guns, how difficult each biome's enemies are, and some general tips. And I added multiple new clankers, like the previously mentioned Roomba with the landmine on its head, another Roomba type robot with the knife that can teleport to you, Freddy Fazbear, and even a little spider clanker. Now with all that done, it's probably about time I make the ocean biome. So here's a sped up video compilation of me building the most basic ocean environment you've ever seen. Yes, I did in fact avoid adding the little spawn areas I put in other biomes. I'm lazy, and instead, I'm actually just going to make clankers spawn out of thin air in this biome. And thinking about it now, I wonder if I'm a clanker, considering how poor I am at doing my job. I also spend $20 a month on ChatGPT, but don't tell anyone. Anyway, I set up a bunch of spawns around the map for all kinds of clankers to spawn, and now playing the game, it would seem that some of them hate each other. Fortunately for us, we don't like clankers and want them to be destroyed, so we will just call this a mechanic. Now all that's left to do is add the last few weapons and gears. So I went ahead and added a shotgun, a semi-auto rifle, a normal rifle, a sniper, some pizza, a riot shield, a children's stroller, laser pointers, and a body swap potion, and even a Tix bag, and a few more various completely random gears and weapons. And now it's done. Clanker combat is complete. I can finally live out my dreams of destroying every metal munching rust bucket clanker under this fake sun. And you can too by playing the game with the first link in the description. Or not. It's so mid, ChatGPT could have done better.